Hello, everybody. Hopefully, everyone's doing all right today. My name is Kat. I'm from Cosmic Metamorphosis, a new channel. Today, I'm going to be talking to you, and I'm going to be reading to you some information that has to deal with the Illuminati, the Reptilian snake families, the Moloch families. It's just another piece of a big puzzle, I think, anyway. For those of us that are awake, we pretty much know like what they've been doing to humanity, all the crimes against humanity, human trafficking, debt slavery, and other nefarious things. This is not my information. This comes from another YouTube channel. Her name is Yellow Rose for Texas. I started following her several years ago, and she's pretty much spot on with everything that's been going on, and her work really resonated with me. So you can take what resonates with you and just leave the rest. So what I'm going to read to you was in videos too that she had on her site, and I went in there to find them again, and they're completely gone. I was lucky enough to, several years ago, I went through those videos and I wrote everything down, and I kept it. And I was like, oh, I gotta go back and I gotta get this out to the people, because this is just another kind of piece of the puzzle on how all this started. So I'll be doing a series of videos. We have the snake families or reptilian families, the owl or the Moloch families, the War in Heaven 1 and 2, and the Divine Couple 1 and 2, which deals with our Father and Eve. Basically, humankind has been on this planet for a very, very long time, and we were here in the beginning. And beings like the Anunnaki or the reptilians came in and altered our DNA and basically dumbed us down, took our knowledge from us. And so the things I'm going to share with you are things that kind of make sense in the fact that, like I said, it's like a piece of the puzzle. It kind of makes you think. But hopefully everybody knows pretty much the Egyptian gods and people in the Bible, because it deals with a lot of their names, and there are several names because they changed names throughout the centuries. If you hear scratching, it's probably my cat at the door. So that no child of Eve falls asleep again, and no child will be left behind. So the snake families. A reptile is incapable of feeling love, sympathy, empathy, or nurture of young in the same way a mammal does. They have no conscience and therefore no feelings of guilt. The primary drive is selfishness and survival necessities, such as food. A reptile species that reaches the higher orders of intelligence while still retaining the specific traits is a genetic sociopath. This genetic trait has a capacity to be passed from generation to generation and is strengthened when specific breeding for these traits is promoted. The practice of specific breeding within the human species is called eugenics. The tree of life is the genealogic tree of all life that the divine couple gave birth to. On the tree of life is a branch named the reptile branch. Set is a sentient being who is of the line of snakes, and he is among the firstborn of reptiles, and therefore a father of the reptile branch. His mate is Tiamat, and she is a sentient being of the line of dragons. Tiamat is the root origin of the word matter, because it is Tiamat who created it. Set and Tiamat created matter. On the branch of reptiles, there is a smaller branch that is collectively named the snake families, and among their members are those who are genetic sociopaths. The different and diverse species and races of their branch numbers in the thousands, such as aquatic, amphibian, dinosaur, bird, snake, and dragon are just a few. And not all are bad. I'm sure there's some good ones, like all species. The small branch of reptiles branch formed a collective, and this was done with contracts and agreements, which incorporated many large civilizations into one group called the Snake Family Collective. The El are a bastard offshoot of the line of Elohim and are commonly known as the Greys. However, gray is not their racial color. They are master geneticists and are responsible for harvesting DNA. They splice and combine DNA to form new lines, new races for the snake families, sometimes using their own DNA, and this is why they are known throughout creation as the Horde. It is the El that gave Set, the owl. The Snake Family Collective came from Orion and Dilmun. This is a collective of races and civilizations ruled by the Snake Family that were in agreement with one another. They have both insectoid, aquatic, amphibian, dinosaur, lizard, snake, bird, dragon, and many other species that joined the collective over time. And they broke off from their parent branches, and they launched a war on everyone else in the creation and on every level of it. Thus, the Snake Family Collective became the AI's power of the universe. Nibiru's solar orbit is 3,650 of our years, which is 1 year for them. A person from this genetic line of descent has an average lifespan of 900 of their years, which means a young 30-year-old has been alive 109,500 of our years, and someone 900 years old has lived 3,285,000 years on Earth. All the gods of history, as it is written now, are the Snake Family Collective. There are too many to mention each. Biblical Lilith is the owner of the Ashtar Command. They spread across the globe, each group getting its own territory. It is all one group that access powers that are the source of the words draconian law and Nazi. They are the inventors of propaganda and brainwashing, and through their combined methods, they have misled human beings in many ways. The bird tribes who played angels and demons with mankind, the crocodile gods, the snake family member, the Naga, who is also called Hydra in Greece. This is who gave mankind religion. All religions and secret societies were created by the snake families. The bull and ram species who play gods, like Amun, Brahma, and the Baal, were a bull species. Amun used many names, among them is Yahweh, which is why Amen is in the Catholic Bible and Yahweh is in the Torah on the right-hand page at the top. His other common name is Satan. He was born E and is called Enki by the snake family. I apologize about my cat. The snake families intermarried with the population of Earth. The main gods disappeared from the public, and their hybrid lines of offspring took over Earth, and for the first time we had rulers, kings, and royalty. This was so that the hybrid lines could use the propaganda trick of deniability. There's no such thing as grays. There's no such thing as gods. There's no such thing as devils and demons, and of course, it's an old trick. They, out of the existence of something, usually by renaming the thing so it's not recognizable, they discredit it. Kind of like what they're doing right now, trying to cancel everything. With their disappearing act, it was agreed that they must still be fed, so they started cults, groups, and religions. This was a pact between the hybrids and their parent groups, that they would set the population up for unwitting harvest. And in return, the parent groups would give them power and wealth over the rest of mankind. Only the people at the top of the group know they are feeding the snake families. Inanna has gone by many names as well. She has also been Athena, Isis, Ishtar, Ashtar, and one of the first names she used was Sin in Acadia. Anyone who saw her true appearance of her knew of her existence had sinned, and this was the origin of biblical sin. Her most well-known name is Lilith. Lilith's language is Sumerian. This is the origin of it here on Earth. When the snake family went underground, the language died out on the surface, but not among the native-speaking populations. Lilith is queen of the Moloch, who are a race of sentient owl. They have a pathological hatred of man. As anyone meeting the Owlman of Cornwall will tell you, that they could feel the hatred and called it a demon. Lilith is the owl, and she is responsible for seeding the population to create the Shining Ones. She plotted to have man return to Eden and take the seeds with them. Then they would hatch, and the whole cycle of the snake family would start again on a higher level. So basically hijacking humanity so that they could ascend with us. And that's where we have part of our reptile brain, they say. The L were always in charge of abducting, implementation of devices, and extracting the DNA of man. The implants alter the man to an ever-increasing degree of sociopathic behaviors and allow for tracking man. The DNA is used to splice with the reptile lines in order to create more man-looking lines for the snake family. The L continued this project to this day. The Nordics, the Galactic Federation, and Sananda, the Ashtar Command, which is owned by Inanna as Lilith or Ishtar. The people who claim to be Palladian and also Galactic Federation are the reptile lines, living with the Palladians, not allied forces of man species who live there. So why all the deceptively friendly contact? The law called free will. If they get you to choose them, whether by dream contact or personal contact, they get to seal you, which means they get to keep you. One of the snake's main talents is the talent of lying and creating a twist of truth to mislead a person. This is where the expression forked tongue and a smooth talker comes from. These are not religious demons, angels, or gods, although they are evil. They are not your special friends. Sociopaths wear masks, and Nazis have always used this subtle method for infiltration and recruitment of people to form new cells in groups of people to use for their own purposes, such as Antifa. The truth is these groups are selecting new breeder populations so that they can start new herds for harvesting. The humanoid-looking races are harvesting the body parts to extend their own lives with high-tech transplant surgeries. The Greys and others use the glandular products harvested from the human body. The higher energy beings use the life force energy. They are siphoning off the human being with their created religions as the human is tricked into praying to them and others are harvesting the meat of human beings. Reptiles eat mammals. Organ harvesting and adrenochrome. That's what it's all about. Imagine Hitler's Nazi youth if they had never been liberated. They would have grown up in a world ruled by Nazi propaganda, and no one would have been able to make them believe that the people they trusted, died for, and loved and betrayed them so deeply. These people tell you man is bad, but they don't tell you that man has been implanted with devices that specifically altered his mind that way, or that man had missing time and memories erased for centuries. They did not tell you that man was an advanced species that lived on every planet in the solar system, or that we fell in battle during an invasion, or that the Mars monuments and the monolithic monuments on Earth were built by men. Because they erase your memories, they can tell you man is too young a species to rule himself. You don't remember you were self-rule, and that each man was king of his own castle for a reason. The snake families have never left Earth, which is why the old saying goes, the biggest lie the devil ever told was that he did never exist. These are the snake families that invaded Eden, and this is the access power that man is at war with these that are the fallen rebels who started the war in heaven. So if any of that resonates with you guys, it kind of blew my mind when I went through all of her stuff. It's a lot of information, but hopefully you got something out of that. I'll probably put up a donate PayPal button sometime here. I'm not going to monetize. I just want to get this information out. So anyway, I hope you all have a good day, and the next video will be about the owl or the Moloch families. So thanks for listening, guys. I wish you a wonderful day.